And we should maybe use our navy over here, the United Kingdom Fleet 3, under the leadership of John Cunningham, who will be searching and destroying. Repairing? Why repairing? Screw repairing. Why can't we go for the Baltic Sea? Navies can pass. Permission type contested. Permission type friend. Permission type... Oh, really? So they do have that power, huh? Well then. Then we will have to do something else. How about we just use the Marines over here? They will be going from Portsmouth to... Let's just say... here then. Something like that. Actually, let's add one more guy to it. So we will have two part of this invasion. Alright. How about we do this then? We will choose these and then pick one. There we go. Now we could add it. And as soon as you're ready, you can start. We should have enough information about the Eastern North Sea as soon as this fleet is arrived here in the Eastern North and Northern Sea. Now we have a research slot available again. So concentrated industry for more production efficiency. And how are we doing when it comes to mechanized equipment? We're doing fairly well. There are still just 2 provinces outside of Moscow. And they're not seemingly being beaten back much further than that. So our plan should go unchanged. So we will do this by formulating an offensive line, going something along this little river here, at least to start with. Seemingly he's very optimistic about this endeavor, and I am too. And this line should just be defensive. Just play defensive. Free military factory, and we could go for a bit more. I'm just waiting for the mechanized, so we can go for that. The rest that don't have any ones, they should just land in Denmark afterwards. And liberate it. I'm a bit if though that Oman won't be surrendering anytime soon. Well, they will surrender, but it doesn't matter. I need to defeat Denmark before. Well, actually, they haven't joined the Denmark and Belgium war, so they are not... Oh, they're not conjoined. They haven't been merged into each other. So that's positive. Wait, is it naval combat against the Danish Navy? Clearly it wasn't very important, seeing as there was a lack of battle reports afterwards. So currently unchanged plans of taking the western part of Germany in a rush mode. Oman has capitulated and now they've been merged. Okay, so now they're merged, these 2 battle plans, or these battles. These wars, I mean. The wars. And they're 14 days. We will have 0 naval superiority but require 50. Wait, really? Do I have nothing covering the English Channel anymore? That is true. So the submarine flotilla. In fact, let's add English Channel to it. So these feel a bit more safe. There we go. Now you can execute the battle plan. And land in Denmark and basically conquer the Danish belts. Goddamn Danish belts. Can't get there. Armies can pass, submarines can pass though. But no trade can pass. So that's rather important. That explains how important it is to take Denmark, and then basically the Baltic Sea becomes free from the Brits if you're playing as Germany. That makes sense. The first part will be to try to take Aarhus. That needs to be taken, and Odense as well. Hopefully the Danes won't show up and make our life a hell. Well, they did show up, and they are trying to make our life hell. But now in the fleet part, if we holding that, what do we need to do in order to break this whole thing of that happening? There's no naval port on this side. Well, they're still too far away from Moscow. They are approaching Stalingrad, though. This is a bit worrying. I mean, I'm very worried at the moment for how things are going over there in Soviet Union. I'm just waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Perhaps we should need a leader here. Claude Auchinleck. Let's go for him. Maybe avoid going above there. Maybe move back a bit. The Danish are fairly strong, in fact. The lack of supplies here is not going to help. The Danish do have a hell of a lot of units. So I'm failing against the Danish. A Danish invasion, the invasion of Denmark is going to end with failure. But I think it is about damn time to start off the war. So justify war against Germany with taking... Let's go for Rhineland, Moselland. It doesn't really matter too much. And... oh wait, if we want to take that, we can take this. Okay, so let's take that. So that only takes 10 days, then the war will start. The war will start for real this time. So I think we're going to dismantle this army. Not dismantle all these units, but dismantle the army itself. And they can go to Dunkirk or just outside. And then we shall finish the war. The Danish are a bit too strong, and plus this thing is making a naval invasion from the west really difficult. Because I don't think you can pass here. The armies couldn't pass, so this is the closest naval base. So you need to reach that before the Danes do. So maybe if you land over here, in this province of Jutland, then you could go a bit north and maybe take it in time, hopefully. Okay, so what was the part about war with Germany? There it is. Need to be at peace for that. Well, too late. Too late for that. We could go for a hold Hong Kong, because I think the Japanese are approaching Hong Kong. In fact, they're just outside Hong Kong. But it seems like the Japanese are a bit beaten back now by this whole thing. All I'm just hoping is that I'm not, just giving Soviet Union free reign to do whatever they want. And actually Turkey is part of the Axis. That I did not see coming. That is worrisome. Really so, really much so. Now I kind of need to prepare for that as well. Shit. Okay, well, no worries. We can handle that. I won't give any details on how it can be handled, but we will handle it. Most likely through, we will take Italy here. And Libya. As soon as possible. And then we will divert troops to Turkey and go for that front. So now we will declare war on Germany. The declaration of war will happen, and they have a lot of friends that we will call allies and send. And then we will let 1 hour go so everyone can join their different sides. There we go. Alright, and now we will start off the invasions. All the invasions will start. And they will take the territory needed. Now to just observe here a bit. It's going bad in Athens here in Greece. There's enemy bombers appearing. We do have our naval superiority most likely in the Mediterranean. So we will see how it stacks up against the Italian fleet. And here we have more units to add to the front. And hopefully we will have more units to send there soon enough. We do have a home fleet over here. In fact, we can just combine... Oh, so there's more things over there. Okay. So home fleet, what are you doing at the moment? I think preparing. They're not actually doing anything at all. So maybe home fleet will be transported over here. Wait, is that Okay, so home fleet will be sent here to kind of guard. Or no, wait, in fact, the home fleet will still be in Scapa Flow. That will be their main base still. But instead of doing anything else, they will just, patrol the Mediterranean here. Or not Mediterranean, but the Atlantic coast outside the Mediterranean. There we go. Are these stuck at offensive? Yes, they are. Very much so. So So we've broken through the Siegfried line and moving into Germany. Unprotected Germany. And it's so far moving along pretty nicely, hopefully alleviating the Soviets. Like, this is the sort of invasion part that the Soviets always wanted but never dared to ask for. How about you move to Köln? So how's it going in the air? I think we have a dominance in air, quite heavily so. And large ships on low strength. Oh, we most likely have some naval battles going on here. Well, we did lose the HMS Sussex. Instead they lost 4 destroyers, so we are observing some issues here in the Mediterranean. Especially when it comes to air superiority. And over here there's some more battles. Oh, that's just the French. That's just the French, okay. Wait, who's this? Japan has invaded Crete? Well, wouldn't you know? Who thought that would happen? Well, I did not. I didn't think that was a possibility, really. Japan invades Crete. Non-aggression pact with China. That actually seems like a very reasonable deal for our side. And we're pushing back the Germans ever so slightly. The Germans are in full retreat at the moment. We're taking Stuttgart and we are taking Köln, and we'll move on to Essen and Dortmund. So we will take it all out. So nowhere is there, at least. Frankfurt has fallen. Let's see the Germans. I want to know. They are now at 18% towards capitulation. Already, I gotta say. I mean, that's pretty fast. We have the air superiority. We have pretty much everything there. Expeditionary forces from Venezuela. No, thank you. Let's see. Are they repairing? It seems like it. Almost everyone has assisted in sinking some ships. So they've been doing well for themselves. They really have. And when we've defeated Germany, when we reached, you know, the German coast, the border to Denmark, we can just swallow Denmark as well. It doesn't seem to have slowed their advance in the east very much, though. The advance in the east is still ongoing. But they have yet to actually reach Moscow itself. They are close. They're ever so close. But are they close enough? So I will use these divisions to kind of go around, perhaps isolating the Germans, to kill off some of their units. Maybe go for Hanover. Hanover is worth 10 victory points. Let's go for Hanover. Here we go. So how many have been divided up over here? How many are following? Yes, well, pretty much everyone. Okay, how about Magdeburg? Maybe a spearhead towards Berlin. If they lose Berlin, I mean, that won't be good for the Germans, let's just say. Germans won't be happy about losing Berlin. It's kind of their pride and joy. Let's go for Wilhelmshaven. That would be a blow to the German army if I've ever seen one. Well, we got a lot of ace pilots, which is fun. Non-aggression pact from Greece. Expeditionary force from Raj. We will not go with that. Instead, we will see mechanized equipment is 28 days away, so that will be the military factories used for. We do have improved advanced artillery that we can switch towards. Add some military factors to that. Anything else that needs to be added, some support equipment. Always useful. Everything else, though, is looking nice and dandy. So how's it going with the tank production? Greater London area, the tank brigades will arrive at when they are done. So we're working on that. It will be more used for Soviet Union, I think, whenever we will have to do that. Have to do the invasion of that. Pocket have formed here. Let's take them all out. Thank you very much. And there's conflicts here against the Italians, and this Italian front, however, is much more loaded than the other one. So it'll be interesting. They are on the outskirts of Moscow, so this is a race for time, basically. But if the Germans defeat the Soviet Union during this invasion, then that will probably be the best result that we could have. I really think so. I think that would be the best. Because then we wouldn't have to fight the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union would be crippled, so the Soviet Union would probably fall much easier. Plus, we still don't really have to deal with Germany all too much. See, which is the other one? British Empire. Why do I have two lines going all around here? There should just be one. Well, how about I select all of you and extend this a bit and go. Because I want to reach Berlin. Berlin is the prize and is worth everything. Rostock, Kiel, everything here is just worth a ton. And the German Reich is now 52% towards capitulation. They have lost Western Germany, and I should probably move my air force accordingly. In the Alpine region, we still have superiority over them, despite all the issues. We can now move all our fighters here to could select them and maybe move some of them to Munich, over Bayern, and some of them over to holy shit, there's a ton of these. How about we must move them to, I don't know, I don't even see any good airfield for them. Are there no good airfields over here for airplanes? How about Wester Ems? Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? Okay, maybe a bit overcrowded. Perhaps just a smidgen. But where is the other airfield? I suppose over here. Yeah, okay, we can split these. Split these with Westfalen. There we go. That should do it.